Hi, I'm Katie Hacker. The most important thing to remember about crafting is that it's fun. So today we're making things for no other reason than it's fun, starting with this mustache bulletin board. You can even make little push pins that have mustaches on them too. So this is a great way to dress up your room. The things you'll need to get started are some felt in different colors if you're going to make the push pins, and then you'll need some black felt that's extra shaggy. It has an extra furry feeling to it. You'll need some craft glue and some pipe cleaners, and you'll also want to print out a pattern from our website and a big sheet of styrofoam so that you can make the base for your mustache. So when you print out the pattern, what you can do is tape two pieces of paper together like this, or use a big sheet and fold it in half, and then cut out your mustache. That's how you get the full shape of the mustache. Then you'll lay it on your styrofoam board and start to cut around the edges. So lay it pretty close to the edge, and then you won't have as much to cut away. Now you want to use a plastic serrated knife and then use a sawing motion to cut that out. You can cut all the way around the edges of your mustache, and then you'll have a piece that looks like this. Okay, so that's going to be the base. And then the first thing that we'll do to make the shape of the mustache out of felt is we'll cut that same pattern out of the felt. So make sure you turn the furry side down, and then take your pattern, lay it on your felt, and use some pins. You can use straight pins to hold it in place on the felt. So you might want to have an adult help you with this part here, because you're going to be cutting then around the paper. So just come to the edge of your felt and cut all the way around the edge of your mustache. And it's okay if you leave a little bit of extra space here along the edges. That's just fine. So you just want it to be pretty close to the paper, but it doesn't have to be exact. Okay, now out of your felt, you'll also want to cut some long strips like these. These are going to cover the edges. That's the first thing that we'll do. So we'll take our mustache. Now you're going to use your craft glue here along the edge of your foam. Just run a pretty thick bead all along the edge. Now your felt strips just need to be wide enough to cover this edge, so about 1 inch is just right. So starting at one side, press it down, and just use your fingers to press it all the way along the surface. And by covering the sides first, it's easier, and that also covers any any place that your mustache isn't cut just perfectly out of the shaggy felt for the top. It just covers the edges here all along the side. So now here I will just add the next piece and run some more glue and add it around. Now you can also put this in place with some pins to hold it down while it dries. And you can continue putting trim on all the way around the edges of the mustache. And here I have one that's already done. So now we're ready to add a thick layer of glue across the surface so that we can add our felt shape. So start out by just squeezing a lot of glue, and then kind of do it in the same way that you would imagine icing a cake, so that you have a thick layer. Back and forth like that, and you can even spread this a little bit with your finger to smooth it down around the edges, and make sure that you have it all the way that is good coverage here. And then you're going to press your felt mustache on the top. So what you'll do now is just make sure that all of your edges are glued down. And if there are any spots that feel like they're going to lift up, then you can just peel it back, add a little bit more glue, and then tack it down. Now if it feels, once you smooth this all out, you can add some pins too, to make sure that it's nice and secure. Okay, now you're going to turn it over and you're going to cover the back. Now you could use black on the back, or you could cover it with a different color if you want to. And by the way, the whole thing could be any color that you like. So to add your hanger to the back, then what you'll do is, this one is dry already. So I'll show you adding the hanger on the dry one. And what you'll do is take your pokey tool and make a hole toward the top back of the mustache. Now you might want to use your scissors to just make a little hole in the felt first, and then use your tool to press down into that hole that you just made. And you're going to use a pipe cleaner to make a hanger. So now you'll just cut off a little piece with your scissors, bend it into a loop, and then twist your ends together. And then I would just glue this and press it into place here on the back, and then you have a hanger. But don't forget to make your pins. You can cut out little felt mustaches and glue them to the top of a pin or a push pin.